What's up, y'all? Welcome to another review by Ryan, and a very happy Monday to all of you. It is Monday, February 27th, and I hope you all are doing well wherever you're at in the world at the time you find this reaction. Thanks for your patience as always, as I've been balancing all the catch up to my reactions with my in real life responsibilities, and I am 2 days late on this one. But alas, we'll be reacting to the 5th episode of the adaptation of NieR Automata version 1.1a. I completely forgot what we're reacting to today. But the title of this episode is Maverick. So last episode was very interesting, and I say that in a really good way. I actually had to go back and rewatch some of the segments of the amusement park in the game in comparison to what we were given in the anime. And first, I really want to say that I think that they did a relatively great job with the adaptation. There was a couple of change-ups here. 2B hacking into 9S to rescue 9S was not something that happened. I believe that's what I saw. I believe I'm correct on that. I don't believe that she hacked him. So that was definitely new for the anime. That was very intriguing, especially being her model, her unit model. But beyond that, I thought that the fight was relatively well done. I was happy with the animation. Again, I love everything about the amusement park, its theme and its battle theme in the background. So music, of course, was top tier since we are using the music from the 2017 game. So, before all that happened, we did get to see the aftermath of the fight and the birth of what is now being classified as Adam and Eve. You guys heard me say songstress like 3 damn times, and every time I ridiculed myself because I again prepared my notes for the new episode, as I tend to like to do, so I know what I'm talking about, especially if I forget something. But I just kept saying songstress and then bringing the two humanoid-like beings up, so I don't know where I was trying to go with that, so I'm so sorry about that. But in the aftermath of the birth of Adam and Eve and them going back to the resistance camp to discuss things, we got to have some more dialogue. We got to see Jackass basically talking about trying to make peace with the machines. 9S won't have none of that shit, and he's very aggressive about the fact that machines can't have emotions, they can't be reasoned with, and they just have to be destroyed as per their mission. Then we got something very interesting, and correct me if I'm wrong, for those that might watch this reaction later, but I don't believe we got to really see much of the commander's frustrations, particularly throughout the first half of the game, or the part that I played. So it was very nice getting to see that she was trying to discuss with the council her concerns, and that she wanted to back up 2B and 9S, because the birth of these humanoid creatures of Adam and Eve was not planned. That should not have happened, and it goes against everything that they were preparing for up to this point. But the council scrapped it, said, no, we can't help them. We're keeping things exactly the way it is. And, you know, it was one of those early on things that really had you thinking, what is the council's end game at the end of it? What's actually the truth and what's not the truth? And what are they holding from us? And what are they holding from the commander? The commander was clearly frustrated at that point, and I thought that was a nice touch to what I feel should have been a little more given to her and how she felt about things in the first part of the game. Now, again, I didn't finish the game, so correct me if I'm wrong, and I have many apologies ahead of time if they did build on that later after the amusement park and after the following segments. But I did find it in a positive way interesting that we're starting to see a little bit into her personality and how she feels about all this. So back on the ground, obviously they get an order to go and investigate what we now know was the songstress. And the songstress basically, as these machine life forms are starting to adapt more to the environment around them, as they're starting to read more into it, they're starting to allegedly build emotions and familia. With this environment as a whole. But ultimately we did see the songstress defeated, and then we had those revelations at the end where 9S just brutally massacred those two clearly non-aggressive machine life forms for no reason when they were, in his mind, pretending to have emotions. And he was very callous with that, and he was very vocal about the fact that this isn't possible, they shouldn't be doing this. And 2B kind of looked a little bit stunned about that. So that's where we kind of ended things off, and I thought it was really well presented. I thought it brought up a lot of interesting notions. And again, just like when we got to see City Ruins, and we got to see that from the perspective of the machine life forms, first learning about the plants and learning about the environment and reading the books and kind of wanting not to be the aggressors, we got to see more into the machine side of things, because we focus on our characters and on the council and on the resistance and everything, but we don't really get to see so much from the machine side until the points that we're about to get to from this episode we're reacting today to and beyond. So I really like that. I think that they're doing a good job, and I want to give a lot of kudos to that. It's the small things that counts with this type of anime adaptation, and I think that they're doing the small things really well. I saw maybe minor issues with visuals during the fight, but just like with the Goliath fight in the very first episode that some people complained about, I didn't have any critical issues with this fight whatsoever, and it was a great comeback to for A1 after having to be on hiatus for a month due to the COVID production challenges. So that's my thoughts here. I'm very excited to see where this episode leads us. So I've been saying this throughout the season, that forgive me if I mess something up, forgive me if my knowledge is a little kind of fuzzy here and there, but I really want to emphasize that now. Now that the amusement park is over, from this aspect forward, I am really going to be in the dark on quite a bit of factual things. And for those anime-only watchers, we're all going to be in this together trying to figure all these things out as we start to unwind and unravel the truth about this world and about the Yorhai units that have been sent down there and just everything in between. So that's what I got for you guys. I hope you guys are excited and ready to watch this episode. I'm going to go get it set up real quick. Give me a split second. And when I come back, we'll get this reaction started. All right, guys, I am back and I have the episode pulled up, and we'll go ahead and get this reaction started. Again, the title of this episode is Maverick. So let's get this started in 3, 2, 1. Yo, they're talking regularly and everything. I mean, they look so normal. As far as I'm concerned now, they're pretty much like the Yorha. Yo. This is wild. See, Adam, he's just so human. Man. In such a quick amount of time, they've gained so much intelligence already. We're going to have to work on what they're wearing, of course, but my goodness. It's just such a unique environment. Man, I'm so hyped. I feel like from this point forward, it's going to be a lot to unravel. Yeah, this man is just so focused on mission. He could care less about the resistance. He could care less about machines showing emotions. He's just ready to fulfill his mission, get his intelligence, and head back. Wow. I mean, even 2B is thinking about trying to survive, even knowing what her purpose is. Damn. Sorry, you're still in the acquaintance zone. Ah, the shopping center. Please don't touch that. Please don't touch that. Probably every disease known to man on all this. Oh my goodness. Boy, we got to focus. I'm saying. I mean, it's so weird though because you get so aggressive, but you're so interested in the humans. In humans too. 9S is just such a complex character. If only it would be that simple. And the fact that he didn't just said that shit mean it ain't gonna play out that way at all. Sometimes I don't know which one of you are worse, 9S or 2B. Ah, the machine life form. Okay, I do remember the machine life form village. So I did get to this point. And I think Pascal, I can't remember exactly. Again, there's just so much I don't remember, but do. 9S, please. Please don't cut up anybody here. Please just listen. These are good guys. Even I remember that. Thank you. Yes, Pascal. Right. Give and take. And again, y'all have gotten little glimmers here and there that there's a big chunk of them that feel that way. Pascal. Yeah, I remember Pascal. 4,782 seconds. So specific. I mean, look no further than Adam and Eve over there being in the nude. Just being great. They're disconnected completely. True enough. Thank you. Please don't massacre anyone else right now. At least when we don't have to. Like, they help each other out, run shops. They've literally made a community. Yeah. Oh, Lord, please let him go. Absolutely not. So they still don't know about things like that. And of course, outside of Pascal, the rest of them still sound far more robotic than anything. I wonder if they're showing subtitles in Japan when they're talking like this. Like when you hear arigato and things like, you know, basic yeah. But when they start going in a regular conversation, you wouldn't be able to understand. I like that drop down shot. That was a nice shot. Yes, a whole head. A head that is alive. Yeah, and 2B has already had to bail you out once. Let's not have to go through this again. Whoa. Are these other life forms or, yeah. Yeah, you've already messed around once, my dude. So it's been around for a while. Yep, those were real humans, not even humanoids, just real humans. and it overrid its controls, and it's conscious in everything. I mean, emotions are not. That just has to be hard to deal with. It's nothing like just processing that something should be wrong, but again, your being doesn't have the ability to understand what that is truly is. NieR can't believe it. This is wild. This is just such a wild scene. And I get it from NieR's point of view too. It's just so wild. And as you start interacting more with these machine life forms that have completely deviated away from their purpose of destruction, you can't help but wonder, what the hell is the actual purpose of your mission? Well, what's just going on in general? And they say they've been severed from the machine life form network. There's a difference between breaking free and being severed. It's a lot to unpack. I get it. But it comes down to us knowing so little about their origins, though. Which makes sense once they separate. The hell? And you have had 2 back-to-back bad hacks now. It would not surprise me if things are starting to mess with you. she's even thinking about that future. But will that future ever come? Wow. I mean, will that cause them to snap? I wonder, will it just be regular fighting? Or would they? Right. As long as it stays at just a dispute and it doesn't go further than that. There's so much to unpack, and I know this is really hard for Nice. And I really felt that conversation that he had about, oh wow, we're wearing more than just underwear now. But yeah, the conversation he had about how many of their own people were killed, and now having to accept this, I get it. No damn. Yo. So Eve must really have that power. Lot to unpack there. A lot of world building though on that episode, and just environment building in general. Time for our next L3 plus R3. Oh shit, this is about to be awful. Oh. What the? Hey! They removed the skirt, see? Hey, they know what they do it. Emil. Fusion went out of control and destroyed it. Also, I think that's the first time we got the name of what it actually was. So Emil is the name of the robot. And that was actually my last question right there. So, oh my goodness. Also, I know for all of y'all that like it when 2B skirts come off, I already know you enjoyed that part right there. All right, so this is a slow down episode to start building us to the first half end and getting us ready for the second half of this show. And at the beginning and end, we did get to see Adam and Eve, Eve being the eldest, Adam being the younger one. And clearly there is a lot of playfulness between Adam, and Eve is definitely the more serious one. Apologies if I mixed the names up, but I thought that's how I caught the names there when they said it. Again, I didn't pay too much attention to that aspect, because this is around the time I had to stop playing the game, so I'm kind of all more or less oblivious to everything that happened outside of what was shown here. But their conversations are very interesting but straightforward. They are ascertaining knowledge and understanding the environment. Unlike the robots that were just reading stuff, they truly are trying to immerse themselves in the environment. They're trying to do things, wear things, be part of what regular humans actually do, even though they themselves are not completely human or human whatsoever. So very interesting at the beginning of End, seeing as they develop. I mean, even they finally developed from just wearing underwear at the beginning to finally wearing pants at the end. Thank goodness for that. But through the rest of this episode, we obviously did get to see that Lily asked them to deliver oil in a package to the machine life form village, and that's what brought us to be introduced to Pascal. And Pascal, I did remember Pascal. I remembered it off the corner of my head, because I do remember the name, and I remember us going under the village and seeing the machine that was part of it, that was kind of rooted in the tree, which is Emil. And we did see that Emil was a being that was created many thousands of years ago by the humans that were living at that time. And I think that's another reminder for all of us as viewers, you know, both those who played the game and those of us who are watching this for the first time, that this has lasted a really long time. Like, they've been at this fight forever. And again, I get where 9S was coming from. They've lost thousands upon tens of thousands of the Yorha, of the androids. And correction, because I think the Yorha are most recent, so they're the most close to human. And again, even unlike Pascal, which still is a robot and looks the part, 9S and 2B, they obviously look human. They speak like humans. They appear to have emotions, but they're just forbidden from exhibiting emotions. So, you know, it's a lot to unpack, and it shows the similarities yet differences that exist between 2B and 9S. 2B is really starting to get more in tune to peaceful days. She knows that she's on a mission also, but she would like for this conflict to end. 9S would also like this conflict to end, but he's a lot more of the aggressive one. So with 2B so far, we see that once a crisis or something against machine life forms has been handled, normally she'll immediately calm herself down. It takes an extra bit to get 9S to be calmed down too, and being the type of model he is, that might have to do with the type of model unit that he is, that leads to the personality traits that 9S has. So just a lot of interesting contrast there, watching the two interact with each other, watching the two interact with the environment. Obviously, I know 9S was very angry getting to see people actually walk away from conflict, and know that that exists in the world today. That exists all the time. When you see people who actually have managed to remove themselves from a bad situation, and you're still stuck in this bad situation for what seems to be just days and months and years on end, it can be frustrating. You can get jealous, and it was a hard thing for him to understand, and it's probably going to be a hard thing for both him and 2B to understand as they progress through their investigations of this. Seeing a village ran by machine life forms that are not hostile is just insane, with everything that they've been told from up at their command base and from the council as a whole. So this is just unparalleled what's happening, unbelievable what's happening right now, and it really helps to build the dynamics of this environment and of things that are to come in the remainder of this series. Now, again, we did see at the end when it was time for the daily check-in, obviously he had questions he wanted to say, but same with 2B, he chose to say there was nothing to report, which obviously is a major lie, because seeing a village of this nature exist is a major, major revelation. So, you know, this is intriguing. I really, really, really like the way that they portrayed this season to us. You know, I now that I remember Pascal and being the behavior that NieR shows, I definitely was a little worried again how he would act once he started listening to the ideologies and the past that was given by Pascal and getting to talk to the other machine life forms in the community. But I do think that this is going to be a very big revelation for NieR, and we're going to start seeing NieR question everything. Question the truth and question what are lies, and if they are actually switched up with each other. You already know that 2B has her own questions, but with NieR particularly, he's really struggling. It's a lot to unpack, and it's a lot to process, and they're still trying to stick to their mission. So I really, really did like this episode. It was nice to be able to kind of calm things back down after going through the amusement park and the songstress last episode. And I'm happy where we're at. I don't really have many complaints to say about the portrayal of the series so far. I think that the anime is doing as good of a job as it possibly can do to bring us into this environment in an episodic format. So nothing much to say from me, but doesn't so much matter about just what I have to say. I'd love to know what you guys feel about the show too. So I'll go ahead and leave it off right here, and we'll pick this back up next week when episode 6 comes out, or this weekend now that it's already the new week. If you did like the reaction, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. And if you want to be one of the first to be notified when a new reaction becomes available, hit the bell icon. So I will see all of you wonderful people on either Saturday or Sunday for the next episode of NieR Automata version 1.1a. This will be episode 6. And until that time, catch you later.